Hello children, how are you? You remember we had stories based on being kind, respectful, obedient. Then we had a story on being simple and honest. Then if you remember, we did a poem on quarrel between brothers and sisters, sisters and sisters. Today, I'm again before you with another story which has a good moral for you. And the lesson I've taken is from a non-detailed textbook, the fourth lesson, The Old Clock Shop. You may wonder what an old clock shop can give moral. But yes, children, every story has a moral. It has a message for each one of you. Right? Let's start the story. It was Christmas time. Christmas time means cold, chill. The weather was very cold. People were wearing warm clothes. And apart from that, Christmas time means shopping. Shopping for so many things. And there was an old clock shop. And the shopkeeper or the owner of the shop was one Mr. Ray. And he too was getting ready to close the shutter of his shop and leave for his home. Being Christmas time, he wanted to reach home as early as possible. Right? As he was busy preparing to close the shop, he saw two gentlemen approaching his entrance. One was about, say, a young man of around 20 or 25. The other was little older, somewhere near 50, 60. The elder one went up to the desk of the shop, and the younger one, he stood near the entrance. See, Mr. Ray was an old gentleman. His experienced eyes gave him a thought at the back of his mind that all was not good. Because when somebody comes to purchase in a shop, they normally have a pleasant smile, a smile on the face, a happy face. But Ray could understand that the customer had no intention of purchasing something, but something else. And he became very alert. And you know what he did? He gave a bright smile and asked him, how? He said that he was deaf, he cannot hear. So he pushed a notepad and a pen, asking the customer to write down whatever he required. What did Ray write in that, Said, I am deaf, I cannot hear, you can put down your note. Ray was very, very careful. Although he was scared, he was afraid inside. The gentleman who was standing at the desk, what he did, he turned back to look at his friend or his colleague who had come with him and standing at the entrance of the shop. When he turned, Ray suddenly saw a gun in the pocket of the customer. Then he became more careful. He thought that if I make a mistake, he would be in trouble. So he wanted to act smart. What he said, he showed all the clocks hanging on the walls of the shop, and he said that what type of help can I do? Do you want to have a wall clock or do you want to have a wristwatch? The customer, he had not come with the intention of purchasing anything. But the kind gesture of Ray was so nice that the customer could not get into action. Then Ray continued, all in notes. He did not say anything because he was deaf. So he tried to write everything in a notepad and pushed it to the customer, and the customer again wrote his demand and gave it to Ray. Then Ray said something through his writing that he is not a pawnbroker. Pawnbroker means a person who gives money in return of some goods. But at the same time, when people came to him in need of money, what he did, he took some menial things from him, especially some watch or some wall clock, and he gave them some money as a help in return. And that was again a good deed of his, a help to the needy. So, what did the customer do? He removed his wristwatch and put it on the table. Ray looked it up and down and he asked him, "How much do you need?" The customer, he said, "Whatever you can give." The customer and Mr. Ray both knew that the watch was not worthy of anything. It was a very simple watch. It carried not much amount. But Ray, as I said, he was very smart. What he did, he took out $50 note and handed it over to the customer. For the first time, the customer gave a sweet smile to Mr. Ray. And he said, "Thank you." Mr. Ray said, "Welcome," all through writing. And he asked him that whenever he required that wristwatch back, he could come, he could visit him, pay back the money and take back his wristwatch. Yes. So the customer, what did he say? Well, he would visit him some other time and to collect his watch. Children, the customer who entered the shop were not simple customers. They had come with the intention of robbing this poor man. You know, when a poor man is seen and nobody to help, one can take advantage. So the intention of the customers were to rob the shopkeeper. But the smart act, the alertness, the understanding saved the customer as well as the shopkeeper. His quick response, his understanding saved him from getting into any kind of trouble. And a man who had come with the idea of shooting and robbing changed his mind and he left with a sweet smile. What is the moral of the story? That is, if you are good, if you are smart, if you are alert and act according to the situation without getting any kind of impulse, without getting like scared, then you can change the situation. You can handle any kind of odd situation in a peaceful manner. A man with wrong thought went with a positive thought. So dear children, what you should do? Always be good, be kind, never be aggressive, never be in haste. Haste is always waste. Because see, in the story, if Mr. Ray had said something, we don't know, was he really deaf? But his understanding made him say that the customer was not a good man. But his smartness saved him, saved his shop, and a man with a bad thought changed to a good man. That is the moral that we should get from this story. Thank you.